Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. So, as always, I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the furry. To start off the furry, you know that monkey from Friends, the Machupa, Chupacabra, whatever that type of monkey is? So that monkey is in this movie, or at least that type of monkey. And he makes a long, very involved, very like, look, this is the monkey, and see it's doing the things, and it's having plot points surrounding it. So he is in the movie a lot, and plays an important part on more than one occasion. I think they lead a little bit too much into the monkey, in my opinion. I think that with maybe it was just the era or the type of era that they're portraying to have like monkey or animal companions helping out. Maybe they just were like, maybe it's just the director because he's like, hey, you just that'll be the thing. I don't know, whatever. I didn't care for it. But anywho, moving on to the good and the bad. Before I get into that, I do want to kind of give you my perspective on things. So, I'm not a really big Harrison Ford fan. I generally don't like him. From what I've seen from various trivia, Hollywood things about him, whatever, he seems a bit of an asshole. Like, he doesn't seem to be. He seems a little ungrateful for the riches that Hollywood has bestowed upon him from his time on the silver screen. And I feel like I don't care for him as much, and some of his characters not as much. So I'm not a big Harrison Ford fan. I also am not sure that I've ever actually seen the whole movie before. I've definitely seen a whole bunch of parts from various memes and trivia and history things about Indiana Jones, but I've never actually, I don't think, watched the whole movie the whole way through, start to finish, whatever. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that this time, see how it goes. And some things that surprised me. So to start off with, one is Alfred Molina is in this. So the bad guy from Sorcerer's Apprentice, also Doc Ock from Sam Raimi Spider-Man. So he's in this, which I did not know and realize. Love seeing him in this. Could have given him more. And then also Gimli is in this, which is kind of neat. I did not realize he was in this. And that's about it. There were some other things that I thought were good about this. So, like one of the things that surprised me. Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. So, as always, I'm going to give you good, bad, and the furry. To start off the furry, so you know the monkey from Friends, the Chupa Macau, whatever that type of monkey is. So that type of monkey is in this, and it actually plays a pretty significant role. I think it's actually a bit too significant. I think that they focus on it too much, have too many plot points surrounding it, and just too much like focus and things interrupted and whatnot by the monkey. And I also feel like a little bit like there was a little bit of like, okay, so he's involved with the monkey, and then that doesn't go anywhere, and why would he do that? So it's a little confusing. But while I didn't overall like the presence of the monkey, I did think that the dates scene, the scene with the dates, I thought that the tension level that they were able to bring with that scene and the addition that the monkey made to it, I thought that that was a good use. So maybe all the rest of it was to assist with just this one scene. I don't know, but good and bad to that. Speaking of good and bad, let me just put in perspective how I'm coming to this movie. So I'm not the biggest fan of Harrison Ford, just from what I've seen of news and trivia and whatever else about him. I feel like he's a little ungrateful. I feel like he's a bit of an asshole and a little ungrateful for all the riches that Hollywood has bestowed upon him. So I'm not a big fan of him just personally. And then maybe that has bled over a little bit into how I think of his movies and his characters. But I also can't recall actually watching this movie the whole way through. I've seen a bunch of like trivia and histories and things related to it, and like obviously little bits and pieces here and there. But I don't think I've watched the whole thing the whole way through. So I did that this time. Some of the things that surprised me that I was not expecting. One, Alfred Molina is in this, so the bad guy from Sorcerer's Apprentice, as well as the Doc Ock from the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans, he is in this, so that was fun to see. Also, Gimli is in this, plays a pretty significant role, and that was fun to see. And I thought that they, the the fact that he wants to put it in a museum, like I know that like that belongs in a museum is kind of like a meme at this point, but I really I wasn't expecting that. Like, no, he wants to put these things in a museum as opposed to just like selling them to private collectors or just making the money off of them. Like his point is to put it in a museum, and I'm like, that's kind of refreshing because when I think of archaeologists taking things out, I just think of Tomb Raider, where she's more so in it for the money but likes the things about it. So I thought that was a fun thing. Also, the music. Yes, we all know the Indiana Jones theme song, but the number of times and the different way, like the different, I'm going to call it versions of it, to give you different feels depending on what is happening on screen. I was surprised at how well they did that and the number of times that the theme was played that also changed the feel of a scene. So I thought that was good, and that was surprising. So overall, I would say that this movie didn't necessarily live up to all of the hype, but I'm not sure how it could. I would give it a soft thumbs up. It's not. I think it leaned a little too heavily into the comedy aspects of it, but I think that people could have a good time. Clearly, people could, since it's worldwide bestseller, made a bunch of sequels. They're still coming out with sequels for it, but I'm gonna give it a soft thumbs up. So with that being said, I'm gonna get into the spoiler territory for things. So spoiler alert: things after this gonna spoil the movie for you. So you've been warned. To start off with, why would she wear that giant fucking necklace thing at all times? There is no way that that giant thing would be covered or hidden by like her clothing with like, or be comfortable in her boobs at all times. There's just no way, especially with how she took it out. It's not like it was below the boobs. It was like, it just wouldn't work. So don't buy it. No. I did like that Lucky Cricket guy was in this. But some of the fight scenes, I think, some of it's because it was in the 80s, but like just the hammy nature of the fight scenes could just, I did not care for them. And then also, maybe I'm just not up to date on my lore about the Ark of the Covenant, but it seems really weird that we've given no indication that like, hey, if you open this thing, you're gonna like bleed from your face and die horribly if you look at them. But somehow, Indy knows to tell her as soon as they start opening the Ark that he's like, hey, close your eyes. Just don't look at anything. Just close your eyes and it won't be anything. Like, but how did you know that? Where was the like genesis of that information? And like, why did you wait till now? And I don't understand. I also don't understand why that happened. So again, maybe that's my lack of knowledge on what the Ark of the Covenant was designed to do. But I feel like if this movie is leaning so hard on it, they're fucking naming the movie after it, maybe they should explain that part. And they don't. They, like, at the end, they're just like, oh, well, we have top men studying it. Top men, which now I know where that meme comes from. But, like, that's your explanation? Like, oh, we have top men studying it. And by studying it, I mean putting it in, like, the National Treasure-sized warehouse of shit we're never going to see again. Like, okay, I guess. And then some of the other things, like, I felt like the chick was a little too whiny. I didn't really buy as whiny and incapable as she was, especially because yes, maybe her only skill is drinking, but it felt like from that scene, you're trying to establish her as a badass, but then she gets trapped in a aircraft cockpit. Like, I mean, yes, there could have been stress involved, so she's not thinking and clearly, whatever, but I feel like she could have done better. I did like that she at least went in the shooter area and managed to take out a bunch of things. But I guess I expect more of my female characters nowadays rather than just being a bit whiny. The other thing was the fact that when she's been traveling in this desert or been trapped for so long or whatever in a desert, she goes for the food first. And I think that was probably poor direction. That like, okay, I don't know about you, but if there's ever a time where I'm doing lots of things and it's hot outside and then I come inside, I'm not like, oh man, I'm so hungry first. Like, no, I think the first thing you're going to go for is the hydration because you're going to be thirsty as fuck. And then the food. But she goes for all the food first and then like takes a sip of water and then does whatever else. Like, I don't know about that. And some of the fight scenes, I think I already went over that some of the fight scenes were meh. So yeah, I felt like there was a lot missing with it, and yeah, so it just I didn't enjoy it a whole lot, but again, I think some of that might have been colored by my views of Harrison Ford, or just the fact that maybe so many of the tropes that are in this have been redone to death in other movies that now looking at them they seem like they're overly done. Um, but like she gets trapped in the crate thing and gets whisked away, and like really you can't shift your weight on these guys barely having you upright with this. You can't shift your weight to escape from that. You can't be like, let me just rock back and forth out of there. Nope. You gotta just help me. So yeah, it was okay. Um, but yeah, it's okay. That's really what it comes down to, is it's okay. Obviously, other people enjoyed it more than me. Did you enjoy it more? Let me know in the comments down below. But that's really all I have for this one. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you at the next one. Bye.